Daily Adventure, and it's Wednesday, 19th. Pretty standard day today. Not much going on in the adventure world, I suppose. But yeah, we had good calls with clients. We had a fabulous mastermind call this morning. I've got a client mood from now till tomorrow. We're traveling, it's going to be fun. But pretty sort of normal day. We're prepping the cars to do the traveling. We're heading to the UK. And while we're routing around doing all the shifting, I found this. In my tool chest, and it's a micrometer. Engineers will know this. When I was in engineering, and this was just a tool of the trade, we'd use this. I'd carry it in my pocket everywhere I went, making tools and jigs and gauges, all sorts of things. And this is a 0 to 25 micrometer. And one of the things I realized is that we search for perfection or exactness in all things in manufacturing, engineering, in life and business as well. And this is very, very accurate. And how do you sort of set this? How do I gauge this? Well, I have one of these. This is called a slip gauge, 25 millimeter slip gauge, and I will set this to that. So when I measure this, and I have the little clutch on top so we get consistent torque, that's reading exactly zero, whether you can see it or not. So that says that is exactly 25 millimeters. That's exactly 25 millimeters. Therefore, that is whatever I measure now will be a comparison with that, according to that. But it's not exactly 25 mil. The fact that I've touched this with my fingers and applied heat to it or warmth means that it's expanded a bit. When you manufacture these things, and these are very, very precise within a few microns, they're so smooth that if I get another one of these, I can call it ringing together, ring it together, and they stick, and you build a slip stack and you can measure things with it. But this is as close as we're going to get to 25 millimeters, but it's not exact. It should be at room temperature. That's it. It should be at a room temperature. That's where it's measured. That's where it's made, and then it's pretty close. And when I measure it with this is pretty close as well. But it's working on a dial on the side. And when I measure something else, it'll be pretty close. So even in engineering, something as fragile and delicate as that, it's not precise. And yet in business, we aim for perfection. We aim for precision to be spot on with our budgets and targets and forecasts and dates and outcomes. And life ain't like that. This thing, if you measure it under a microscope, that surface looks very, very smooth. It's actually like a mountain range under a microscope. It's smooth, but not really. It's not actually 25 millimeters. It's 25 millimeters plus or minus a few microns here or there. There has to be a tolerance, something that we tolerate in terms of the size. And in business, same thing. We need to have a tolerance band. We can't expect perfection or seek perfection or write the perfect presentation or book. We have to have a tolerance band between limits. What is acceptable? It's got to be good enough. This slip is good enough. This micrometer is good enough to do the work that I had to do. I won this as a prize as a second year. I got a second year apprentice of the year. I got a 0 to 1 and a 0 to 25. That was back in 1982. So, gosh, that's 43 years ago. Still works, still perfect bit of kit. Makes me feel very old. But perfection is impossible. We can't get perfection. It's got to be close, good enough for the job, and fit for purpose. That's all it has to be. So if you're writing a book or a paper or a presentation or doing a budget or delivering service or giving a product, no product is perfect. It can't be perfect because it doesn't exist. We have to have tolerances. It has to be in between good enough and good enough. Outside of those tolerances, we don't accept it. Within that tolerance band, we've got to be good to go. The narrower the tolerance band, the more expensive things get. The wider the tolerance band, the cheaper they get because it's more expensive to make it. So if you're chasing perfection, it's really expensive because it's a very, very tight tolerance band. Make your tolerances as wide as possible in terms of dates and deadlines. I mean, we want to be on time for things, but build in some tolerances, and then you can use an engineering approach to your life and business and not get quite so frustrated with it either. There's no such thing as perfection. So there we go. That's the 0 to 25. And it's got that smell. If anybody's been in engineering, even now, after all these years, it's kept in this little carry case. It's got that smell of lubricating oil and suds and all sorts just all embedded into it somewhere. But a fabulous bit of kit, still works perfectly. I use it now from time to time, and this needs a bit of a cleanup. But there's my 0 to 25 clip. I'm going to say I think I nicked that out of somewhere, but anyway, whatever. It's a long time ago now, 43 years by the sound of it. Anyway, so don't seek perfection. It doesn't exist. Be good, but good enough is good enough. There we go. Anyway, have a great day. We're traveling tomorrow. updates to come. We're heading north to get an update from maybe from Calais or on the auto route as we head up through France tomorrow. And have a great day. Hope Wednesday's treating you well. And I'll see you tomorrow for more updates. Bye for now.